hello YouTubers. It's old Quick Cap here. I like to get on YouTube. I get some real giggles out of some of this crowd that hates AA. Now, you know who you are. I call you the weenies and the ankle biters. you're the ones that get on here and say all kinds of unkind and untrue things about Alcoholics Anonymous. Now the weenies, you're the ones who just kind of go along and repeat things that other people say, sometimes without even understanding what you're saying. But you ankle biters, well, you know who you are. You're the ones who just flat out lie about it. Now, one of the most amusing things is the cult thing. See, you guys will say, "Oh yes, AA is a cult. It's really evil, and it's yes, really, and it kills people too, and it's oh yeah, it's religious. It's a religious evil cult that kills people, and it's really dangerous." Yeah, and I always have to laugh about AA being a cult. Did you ever think of all of the people that are in AA? Well, there's a couple of million of us, and every one of us is different, and every one of us is some kind of a maverick. We're all a little bit individualistic. We all sort of want to go our own way. I'm going to tell you, there's nobody that's going to stand up in front of a bunch of alcoholics and say, "Follow me." It's like trying to herd cats. You just can't do it. Now think of the people that are in AA. We got them all the way from teenagers to people up in their 80s that come in rolling in their wheelchairs. We got people living in mansions. We got them living in cardboard boxes. We got every occupation, and people in the very highest levels of academia and business and government and show business and athletics and entertainment. And then we have people in the very lowest of circumstances, people who are incarcerated, people who are homeless, people who are illiterate, and they all come together for the common purpose of trying to stay sober one day at a time. And you know what we do? We help each other. Now, one thing for sure, and this is undeniable, that Alcoholics Anonymous is the greatest support group in the world. But it's not a cult. A cult, if you're going to have a cult, you got to have a leader, don't you? Somebody's got to be in charge. When you walk into an AA meeting, if you haven't been there before, you might look at the front of the room and think, "Oh yeah, that must be the president of AA up there running the meeting." But then after you've been there for a while, you find out, "Oh no, that's Sally. She's been sober for 4 months." She's running the meeting, and the old timers sit in the back. And after you've been sober for about 3 or 4 months, maybe they'll ask you to chair the meeting. That's the way it works. We don't have any leaders. Nobody's in charge. And it's part of our doctrine that no member of Alcoholics Anonymous can tell any other member what to do or what to think. We are anarchists. We are complete anarchists. I remember I remember being in a meeting one time, and a police officer came and he sort of interrupted us, and he was very nice. He wanted to inquire about some of the cars in the parking lot. But he came in, he said, "I'm sorry to interrupt, but who's in charge?" Well, one person laughed, and then everybody started laughing, and this poor cop standing there wondering what the hell is so funny. Well, the thing is, we all know nobody's in charge. Now, here's a good one for you. If you ever want to have fun, you become an AA member and join a group, and then attend one of our business meetings. Now, see, every group, about once a month, they have a business meeting. And the purpose is to discuss the important matters that the group has to deal with. Now, these are really important things. For example, it might be on the agenda that somebody wants to talk about the coffee. And we've been serving chock full of nuts, and somebody says, "I want to start using Maxwell House." Well, right away, you've got a battle, see, because the Maxwell House people are saying about that. They don't like the chock full of nuts. It's too bitter. And somebody pops up and says, "Well, I can get Maxwell House from my brother-in-law. He gets us a discount." And they get into that, and then somebody says, "Well, Actually, I don't think we should even be serving coffee because it's an addictive substance. Well, there you go. See, somebody says, what are you doing talking about addictive substances? This is an alcoholics meeting. It's not about drugs. And then they start fighting about that. And then she's saying, well, I wasn't really talking about drugs. Yeah, you were. We don't do that here. And then somebody else pops up. Well, my opinion is that we really shouldn't be using, every time we go to warm up that coffee, we're enlarging our carbon footprint. And this means that we're contributing to the warming of the biosphere. And, and somebody jumps up and says, what the hell are you talking about? Well, you know, that all contributes to global warming. And what do you have? This is a business meeting, you know, that we just argue with each other. Do you know we argue about everything? We argue about everything that Bill Wilson ever said. You know, I mean, there isn't anything that doesn't get pulled apart. And if you want to have fun at a business meeting, just bring up the subject about, well, let's say there's a couple of good ones. One of them is, should we say the Lord's Prayer at the end of the meeting? That's always good for a big argument. Or even a better one is, should we sign court slips? Yeah, bring that up at a business meeting. So anybody that thinks that AA is a cult, you just have to get inside for a little while and sit around long enough to see what's really going on, you know. People come in and they might leave because, well, maybe they don't like something about it. But let me tell you something, folks. It ain't no cult. It's about the last thing from a cult that I've ever run into. As a matter of fact, it's anarchy. It really is. You know what's the old joke about the patients running the asylum? Well, that's what we are. We're just a bunch of drunks. But you know what we do? And we do it better than anybody else. We stay sober and we help each other. And isn't that great? I think it's wonderful. And I owe everything to AA. Listen, if you've listened to this point, thank you very much. Leave your comments if you'd like. And have a nice day.